Welcome to the most heretical stream on the internet. I give you Wooly1169.
Hello everyone, welcome to the stream and welcome back for Captain of Industry. Nutmegus here. Thank you for claiming first. I assume Jeff is asleep. I'm gonna go with. So last time we were here, we were working on our Breeder Reactor build, design, configuration, etc. And it's complicated. I was also suffering from a bit of a headache and sore throat, which sore throat went away, so it was just a change in weather. But it was also serving to distract me by enough that I was not in it for the win it here with the Breeder Reactor design. Hopefully it was just that and not just my lack of overall brain power to figure this thing out. So let's finish setting up my screen here that I forgot things for. There we go. And switch into the game and take a look at what we might be able to accomplish here. Let's see. So we're working on this. We have a design for the power generation and water production component, which includes steam processing, of course, in the power generation. So that takes care of this end of the breeder reactor completely. Yes, completely. And so we just have the actual important part here. Well, I guess it's all important. The actual part here to deal with the core fuel and the blanket fuel to make all the things here. So we're going to do that. We're doing that or partway through that now. Let's see. Let me do maybe like this so I can see the inputs and outputs here. We have a few different designs, or not really designs, but combinations of things that we need to make work here. One of those is going to be the making of or processing of the spent core fuel back into core fuel. That's going to be one of our most important processes. In fact, that may be our most important process here, at least in terms of priority, because every drop of core fuel spent goes into this, which could be up to 3 of these. Might only be 2 after a while, but up to 3 of them. And then every drop of core fuel that comes out is priority fed back into the reactors. And then we also need to deal with here bringing in molten glass, which we talked about, putting in a molten glass plant down here, and steel and acid into these things. And the similar kind of thing goes over here, which is our early source of blanket fuel production. In fact, this needs to start up before everything else. We'll feed in the spent MOX and or spent fuel from the old nuclear power plant, as well as acid and salt and molten glass, and process that spent fuel, of which we have an abundance. At the moment, we have spent MOX times 2400 times 15 plus a bit. And we don't have any spent fuel, but we could, once we're ready to start processing it, we could stop sending it into this to continue making plutonium, which we're turning into the MOX rods. So once we're ready to start processing it, we could process it, or we could just let the MOX rods get built up, I guess. Or keep producing, I guess. It just means that this is producing slower. Eventually we'll have to stop it though, so either way. But those are fed in evenly. It doesn't matter which one they go into, because in the end it won't matter. They will go into whichever one, and they'll get used however. Doesn't matter. And so all of these things though, these and those, all produce fission product as a byproduct. And that means we need to store it for 100 years, I think. We saw that number somewhere. 100 years, yep. So after 100 years, those turn into useful things again, which means that this can store 2400 at the production rate of 2 per month, which is also a minute per machine. That means that they can be stored for 1200 months for each machine, which is 100 years. Convenient. So we'll need to have one of these storages for each one of these. And actually, this storage needs to also have that. Oh, it already has that checkbox checked. Good. Let's V copy all of this here and this here. And so that means after 100 years passes, we'll be getting 2 retired waste times 3 and 6 out of these, which I want to check in waste management here. Solid shredder. How many of these are we going to need? 6 per 3, 6, 9. We're going to need 3 of these while this is all still active. Once this fades to black, then we'll only need to have 1 of them. So I might put it in here where it where they're being directly used, or maybe I won't. I'm going to put 3 of them down though, so that I remember that I need to have 3 of them, just for future Wally purposes. These will also need to be further spaced apart by at least 1 more space, possibly 2 for reasons, so that I can lift the retired waste out of here and belt it down to this. Okay, so that takes care of those 2 portions of this. And so the glass is needed here. We need 2 glass each. That's 2 times 9, which is 18. And that means we're going to need to have one of the arc furnaces making molten glass. I think, yeah, one of the arc furnaces. We could actually go with blast furnace 1 even. Maybe we should do that. No, we could do graphite. Graphite's fine. We got plenty of graphite. So yeah, so graphite, and also that produces much less exhaust and much less slag. So compared to this here, oh, the slag's the same, but much less exhaust. So I think that's a better option. So we'll stick with the arc furnace. It uses electricity, but well, what are you going to do? We don't need the arc furnace 2 though, so we don't need the water to produce the steam because we're not producing 48. We only need 24. We actually only need 18. Okay, so that takes care of those 2 components. So this is our startup here. Good not to be exhausted. Indeed. This is our ongoing maintenance of core fuel. And then we also need to have ongoing processing of blanket fuel, that is enriched blanket fuel, into blanket fuel again. And this one here produces a byproduct of more core fuel. So we'll be running this. This doesn't need anything besides itself, so that's great. Not to feed anything crazy into this. And then every so often, or at some points in the game, we'll need to have something else for the blanket fuel enriched to do. And that'll be these 2 recipes over here, making either plutonium and or enriched uranium, depending on which one we feel like we need, because those are used for later down the road things like compact reactors and space probe parts. So we'll have to produce those at least on occasion. But I don't know how many of each of those things we'll need how often, so we'll have to figure that part out. Water. Another kind of startup piece we'll need is turning enriched uranium, of which we have a earlier phase of. Let's see, this one, we have reprocessed uranium, 1%. We need to make that into enriched uranium, 4%, and then take that and make it into. Oh, wait a minute, I could have done this. I didn't know about that. Or did I know about that one? Wait a minute. Is this the process? I'm an idiot. Oh, I know I didn't want to do this because it produces a lot of depleted uranium. Raspian, welcome in. Produces a lot of depleted uranium, although it's less than we're storing in this thing, so I guess I could have done this all along. Could have made more uranium rods out of this uranium rather than storing it always. It's alright. We'll get by. So we have a bunch of this saved up now. Oops. Guess I should have paid attention better. That's what I've been told my entire life. And we'll reprocess that into this 4%, and then we'll reprocess that into 20%, and we'll have... I only just realized, yes. We'll have a bunch of this 20%. We'll also have a bunch more of this depleted uranium. And we'll take that 20% and turn that into core fuel after we save up some for this future purpose here. I don't know how much of that we're going to need, like I said, but we'll have some of that for future purposes. So that's going to be a process that we will have early on to seed in more of this core fuel. So we'll kind of have core fuel being fed first from this, and then from this, and then from that. Oodles will be needed, of course, indeed. And then we have two final processes here in our gross build here, gross project, and that is turning a little bit of blanket fuel plus some depleted uranium and salt into blanket fuel. It's a multiplication here, or an extension here, stretching here, so that as we use it up here and deplete it down because we're making core fuel, we can replace it by doing this process here. So we'll use that, and then once this depleted uranium runs out, which will be in, I don't know, millions of years or something, I'm not even going to, well, I could try to do the math, but I don't know everything yet, because we already have 12 times 6, 7, 8, 9, basically 10, so that's 120 times 5,000, which is 6 million? No, 120 times 5, no, it's not 6 million, 600,000? Yes, 600,000. Depleted uranium. We're going to have a lot more once we process this stuff. I don't know how much, but a lot more. So 600,000 of that. And if we are using 6 of these, that means we're going to use 60. So that is 10,000 months of depleted uranium supply. 10,000 months. So that'll take a little while to eat through. Yeah, okay. That is oodles, yes. And whenever that runs out, whenever that might be, we will have to start making blanket fuel out of yellow cake. We'll need to be prepared for this because we'll need to be able to bring in a lot more uranium than we have here, because we'll need 6 times 12 yellow cake. And we're only currently making here 2 times 12. So we'll need to triple this build, this part here. We'll need to triple that in order to make enough yellow cake to keep the breeder reactors going, which is a little bit disturbing. But it's going to be a long time before we need it, due to the amount of uranium, depleted uranium we have. So, all of that said, we need to figure out this priority system correctly. So, as I mentioned, all of the core fuel out of these comes into here, so we don't have to worry about that too much. I'm going to want to do, let's see. Yeah, all the core fuel goes in there. All the spent core fuel. All the core fuel that comes out of here is highest priority. So we'll take that out. Oh, and the other thing we learned is we cannot store any of these 4 products, these 2 items times 2 states, in any fluid storage of any kind. So no core fuel, no spent core fuel, no blanket fuel, no enriched blanket fuel in any fluid storage, either this kind or the train fluid storage. So the only buffer we can have for these 4 items is pipe buffers, which makes me kind of oof a little bit. Let's see, go back into there. Okay, so which means I'm going to use all pipe 4s in this build for these 4 items, because pipe 4s will store the most amount per pipe segment. And if I feel like I need a buffer, I can do pipe loops. It's only nuclear, nothing dangerous. Exactly. So, because this is, actually it doesn't really tell us how much it stores per pipe segment. I think we tested that before. So you store 1 in that segment, but if we did like, is that 16? Then it stores 9 in a block of 16. This pipe here stores 20 in a block in a 16 block. This one here stores more, and this one here stores even more. That's 33, and this is 42. So it ends up being about 10-ish per level, per block of 16. So that's quite a few items. I do see we got a couple of messages here that we probably should go deal with. You need something to do. Oh, yes, you need something to do. I've been doing a little bit of excavation here, trying to get some of this titanium out of my way, because I think we're going to need to do set up the iron trading here, and I want to just put it in here, but I need to get some of this titanium out of the way in order to accomplish that. So I'm going to take a look at this. Oh, good. Good. This can go... Actually, what I would like to have happen is complicated. Complicated. I think I'll do... Not that. I think I'll do this to start with. And then I will do... Let's see, you're there. Then I will do this next. I'm trying to zipper these, I think. At least until I run out of zippers. Or I get something caught in the zipper. I think I want to zipper these. I was trying to figure out how I wanted to do this. I was doing this earlier this morning, and I never really came up with a great idea. So I'm just making an idea, and we'll call it great. Because, well, sometimes you got to do that. This should clean out most of this titanium, and then whatever's left in this portion here, we'll deal with another way. And I will just do that one too. I'm storing it up here. Eventually, I'm going to have to add some more storages here. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. Pick up all of these like this. Flippy, flippy. Zippy, zippy. No, don't do that. That's not what I wanted you to do. Nope. Cancel that. Cancel that. These are wrong. I did that wrong. I should have done a flip. Try that again. Should have done a rotate and flip. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. That's what I should have done. No, it's still trying to switch those around. Whatever. I think it'll be okay. I'm just kind of buffering up a whole bunch of titanium here. Eventually this will run into there and it'll be fine later. I put an alarm on this bucket so that I know when this goes empty. Since it's getting dumped into here and doesn't have a way out, I wanted to be careful. So, but we're only using, this is the funny part. At the moment, we are using hardly any titanium ore. For this small stretch, we used 96 of it at a time, and it's back down to 0 again. Because we're only using plates every so great often. Because they're only being used in one place, that is out here, making these things. And that only happens when this rocket needs to launch, which is pretty rare. So, alright. Okay, what were we doing? Oh yeah, Breeder Reactor. Here we are. So, we need to figure out how we want to prioritize all of these, which is what we were just talking about. I think, let's see, I think I'm going to put core fuel on level 1, because these will need to be on, no, I think I'm going to put core fuel on level 2. I think I'm going to put core fuel on level 2, which means 3, 4 for both of the 2 blankets, and then 5 for this stuff here. Acid will have to come in on a lower level, which is fine. Molten glass will be on the floor. It has to be. Steel will be above that somewhere then, as will salt. That'll work out fine on this side. We'll also have salt and uranium coming into this, which I think will be another, maybe a column over here or something, along with these guys. Whenever we make the yellow cake, we'll have to make that come in. You get salt plus this enriched uranium. That's going to get made in an enrichment plant that looks like this, but I'm going to make it over here where the stuff actually is, for 2 reasons. One, somewhere in here, probably over here or something, which means belting all this way down there, but that's okay. Because we need to dump this, dump the excess depleted uranium into that system, and then also because I don't want to transport all of this. If I can transport 1/4 of 1/5, so 1/20th of the items. We kind of learned our lesson with our hydrogen trading and decided that we would transport 1/24th here. So kind of the same kind of thing. The 24? Yeah, I think it's 24. It's kind of the same idea there. So we're going to do that here, but I still have it set over here because we need to figure that part out. It's probably not going to all get built right away because A, we don't need it right away. B, it's going to be a lot of power to power it. I would rather have the power surplus here for making these things work. And then once we have breeder reactors up and running, and then starting that up in more earnest, because we're not going to need it right away anyway. These things are trainable. Not a problem on that, so that's good too. Okay, so we talked about putting these over here, at least as a possibility. That could probably work, although I think, well, it could work either way, I guess. I think the yellow cake component, well, I'm not sure how I want to do that yet, actually. Let's do some more spacing in here, just so that we can plan for this properly. I want 4 spaces, and only 4 spaces, I think. Or should I do 5? I think I'm going to stick to 4. So, we'll have a floor belt. It can be slow because we're only producing 2. Of a floor belt here, connecting these across. We'll have a flat lift here, lifting these up 1 level. And then those will come down to wherever we put the shredders, whichever direction they go. And on this side, we talked about putting the core fuel at level 2. No, it's got to be at 3. No, level 2. Because this is level 1. Level 2 for the core fuel. Or I could put the core fuel at 4. Because if this stuff's going to be at... this stuff's going to be at 5. No, I've changed my mind. I want 1 more space here. Yep. For symmetry reasons. Copper is blocked? Uh-oh. You're talking about the mining here? It just has to do with this not being able to get rid of dirt. But actually it does. You're right. That's because I need to increase this here. Uh-huh. That the ziggurat is going to be almost ready to be torn down again. Give me a couple of these to get you guys moving. Maybe. But there you go. Good. 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 What? And what are you complaining about now? Nothing. Okay, that's good. A few trucks will grab enough out of this to keep it moving, and then the train will be able to move again once they get enough out of this as well. All right, that'll work. Ow. We're going to need to find another spot for another ziggurat. I was hoping to be able to put it down here, but I want to raise this up. We could probably put one in here. I just don't want to, but I think I'm going to have to put one in there. I'm not sure what else I would put. I guess I could put some up here, too. I would like to one day be able to lower this plateau, though. So, but at that point, I guess I can also move the ziggurats. It'd be a pain in the ass, but I guess I could do it. Yeah, I guess I could. Also, these guys are mining dirt out of here, which is why the dirt provision has come in hotter. Speaking of which, this plateau over here is quite well mined and re-leveled now. I do want to take out a bit more of it, obviously. But I wanted to start at this end because I need to temporarily run a train from somewhere over here, which I think I might even just connect to this line here and then have the return go into that return. But I need to connect a train from over here so I can break this whole crossing so that I can put it back in at the right level once all the excavation is done. So that's going to be a little bit of work ahead of us too. But once this is done, we'll take out some more of it. And then we'll just keep pushing our way across here. Okay, back to work. So, let's see. I put these out at 5. That's good. I think I will actually put the core fuel at level 4 so that they can be opposite, adjacent to, rather, their spent fuel. 5 spaces there, which means I may not have enough space between these right now, but we'll be all right. Should I also... Yes, I should. I'm going to actually take these and flip them this way. Then I can run the molten glass once here rather than having to run it twice. I think that's better. It means more belts here in the middle, which means I might have to have a double belt here, but I'm okay with that. Of some things, or multiple belts here of some things. Acid could be centralized. Glass could be centralized, but maybe salt is only on this side. Steel is only on this side. And then the spent fuels and stuff are only on this side. At least in theory. I think that makes more sense. So this would get redone. So if those are there, with the spent at 5, 4, let's do 3 for this one. So, the quantities of this are going to be at most... $48. But I wanted to have always high-end pipes, so... I could do slow pipes coming out. Three. I could do slow pipes coming out. And then have the big pipes for the carriers. Could. like that. Well, I guess I should have copied the rest of those belts first before I did all this. Let's take this here. Delete that. Cut that. Slot it in there like that. I'm guessing the shredding's going to happen down at this bottom end, so we should probably just plan for that. At the rate of 2, we'll just do a flat conveyor like this. And I'm just going to take this out as a stub for right now. Because I don't know how I'm going to connect it out. Do the shredding. Actually, I kind of do. I'm just going to put 2 of these down here someplace. And that'll be that. Maybe even right in there. And then the one stays here with these guys, which would probably actually be there someplace. Okay. And then here, these are also 5 away. And these also like this. Oops, forgot to hold down Shift. 3 of those there, and we could run that belt out, I suppose. Again, with a stub. Central Plateau Mining has no designations. That's you. Which is this one, which means we can just do a few more blocks of this, like that. For now. Goes up to 4. Actually, I'm going to do it like this. No, I'm not. Nope, not going to do that. And then this will go there, there. And there. That's a big fat pipe. Holy crap. Okay, that takes care of you. Let's do another big fat pipe here at level 5, coming down like this. That's where we needed to go. And then we can drop these into here. Go there and then into the pipe. That. Might be easier to run these pipes like this instead of the way that I was just doing it for whatever crazed reason that I was doing it that way. That takes care of the core fuel. Delete the stub. The spent core fuel, that is. And then we'll need to have acid maybe one level below that. Where else is acid used in this build? Nowhere else? Besides right here? Okay, that's good. Let's go with... Well, how much acid are we going to need here? 2 times 9. That's nothing. Let's do that. This was at 5, so let's put that at 4. I'm going to come in from this end. If I find the right line up here. And from this end. R. And let's go... Oh. Like then you. I'm going to do these opposite each other. So this one will go here to its friend right there, and then this one here will go... actually, I need to wait on this side. I need to see what I can fit in this hole so that I can know what I can do with this. The molten glass is going to come on the ground under these. I think it'll come more centralized, maybe. And then get split down to the other ones. I think. I don't want to do that yet. Delete. I think is what I'll do here. I think I'll put it in this area. And so these ones will get the glass the other direction. Ooh, heartburn. Alright. Salt. Steel. Low supply of copper ore. Yeah. That's because we're practically out of the copper mountain now. Let's do some more of this here. Like this. We can pull back this way also. A bit. That. Whatever that one is there. Some of these. Some of these. That. Get one of you guys excited. Where's the other one at? Up there? Or the dirt one? You're that one. Okay. Does that get you excited, or do I need to control you a bit here? I'm gonna have to control you. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Oh, you're doing it on your own. Okay, good. Good job. Good job. Okay. Back to this. Got to keep up with all the things. That's part of the problem here. So if I did... So that's at 0. That's at 4. It means they've got 1, 2, 3 to fit steel, salt, and spent. If I combine these under the same belt, which is what I'm going to do. I'm fine with this, I think. I can put these all in one line. All this stuff in one line. Steel, salt, and spent. Now, do I care which one of these is salt? Just don't want it to be 2 or 3. Especially not... What level are you again? 3. No, especially not... Yeah, not 3. 2. I would like to have salt be on... one? I guess I could have it on 2 different levels. One for this stuff and one for the other. 0, 1. Salt could be on 1. Salt's temporary here, but that's fine. Salt could be on 1. We're also going to need salt, though, for making the glass mix, so it probably doesn't matter too much. But let's pretend the salt's on 1. Then I can put steel on something, and the mixture on 1, 2, 3. This is 4. Yeah. So salt, steel, and then the mixed fuel here. Mixed spent fuel. Sure, why not? Okay, so U-shaped conveyor. How much salt we need? 2 times 6. Yeah, that's good. Here on 1. And when I need this for glass, I can just, I can just do it. Actually, I need to bring these guys in first. Before I get too far ahead of myself. Ahead of myself. That's not good. Can't see what I'm doing here. This. More. Right there. Yep. All right, and then we have acid here. I connected you to the wrong one. Oopsie. Nope, I didn't. I connected you to the wrong one. Nope, that's wrong too. There. Okay, I'll take care of those. I'll hook these other 3 up after. Because I need to figure things out with them, I think. But then this salt here is a U-shaped lift going into there. Same. Same. And then steel can be next. So let's do a flat conveyor. This is 1 times 3 steel. Practically nothing. That's here. This can be deleted. Three of those. And then the last one is a flat belt for this stuff. And that's 2 times 6 is 12. Okay. And you'll go there. 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 And so on. I can trim the end off of this belt and that belt. That'll be good. This is all good here. We just need to deal with the output of the blanket fuel. You've got your core fuel in, core fuel out. This is scrap out. Everything's good here. That's a duplicate, that's a duplicate, that's a duplicate. Yeah. So if I take a copy of a little bit less than that, I get like, not really. Can I just do this though? Except that it's too much, isn't it? Yeah, it's too much. I don't want these pieces here, which means I don't need that. Can I do this now? Like that. Just, yeah, that might be a little wonky, but we can figure that out. Everything else is okay? Perhaps? Perhaps. Okay. Hydrate. I thought those trains were stuck there. We deal with something real quick here. Trucks are struggling. Why? Oh, because you got yourselves stuck? I think they just got themselves stuck. Reset them. Eat it. I think they just couldn't traverse that anymore. It fell a little bit too much for them. Filling in this sand pit, by the way. It's quite interesting the way they're filling it in, but okay. With rock, of course. It's possible that at some point we will excavate out some of that other sand that was in there, but I don't think so. I don't think so, Tim. There's a bit of titanium here at this top edge, which I figured there might be there. But I suspect we'll get the rest of it out of here, more or less. Maybe a little bit in this area here, but most of it should be gone. Copper's happy again since I started excavating it here. Are they both in there? No, only one of them. Okay. The other one is driving. Oh, okay. Well, the trucks were in there. So back to project du jour. Alright, so that takes care of you too. This part on this side, of course, as I mentioned before, will get deleted once the spent fuel's all gone. Which is why it's on the end, on one end. Because I was thinking that stuff on the end would be chopped off later, which leads me to, why don't we toggle these ones around? But then I have to bring the yellow cake in onto the inside line, but I guess that's okay. Because it might be down here, it might be who knows where. We'll call it good enough. Okay, so this one needs 2 pipes out, 1 pipe in, and that's it. I think I'll still do the same spacing regardless. So let's add a little bit more space here. And actually, it's 2 pipes out, 1 pipe in. Either way, we need big pipes for this because it's big pipe time. Core fuel is on 4. Yes. And then blanket fuel is on 3, which means that enhanced blanket fuel's on 2. The core fuel's on 4. These are both outputs. They're going to go do 3 first because reasons. Like that. And then I'll do the little connectors here. These guys. There. 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 Okay, and then 4. Same pipe. That. Trim, trim. And then on this side, it was, we hadn't done it yet, but it'll be 3. 2. It'll be 2. 8, 2. Big pipe inbound this time. And that'll be here. Yeah. The rocket's going off constantly there. Well, not constantly, but often. We're not currently using that space station, so it might behoove us to shut it down for a while. Because all it's doing right now is sinking anyway, sinking materials anyway. I just don't know if I want to shut it down and then spin it back a little bit later or not. We could also potentially do some research. G-search. What do we want to do over here? Well, we did unlock Rocket 2. We could unlock space probes, I suppose. Take some time. It only takes 14.7k to do. We could do that. Also do this recycling edict. Yeah, we'll do that. Might as well unlock asteroid boosters too then after. Just queue them up, let them go. Let her go, boys. In here, I might bring these in closer since they're only going to ever have that one output. I could do 3 spaces here instead of 5. I should. Where are we at right now? 4? Yeah, we definitely don't want 4. Let's bring that into 3 spaces. See for shit there though, because there's a lot of stuff. And then we do a big pipe here. You are breeder stuff, which is on 3. Only I could remember. You'll come through like this. And we'll figure out where all these will be positioned, but I need to build each module first anyways. No. Yes. Let's do all of one side first. Probably smarter. Thank you. Autosave. Alright, there we go. We already had salt at level 1. We should keep that, which means that the fuel source, whatever that may be, would be on level 0. So this will be 10 times 6, which is 60. I'm going to make that a Mark II belt. So those will be on 0. The salt then will be on 1. I think that's a flat. Or no, it's U-shaped. Never mind. I think I'll put the salt on the outside here. Like that. And then put the fuel source on the inside. Together, sort of. For reasons. Salt's 4 times 6, which is 24. I can do a Mark I belt for that. Do fuel first, though. And that's going to be 10. Yeah, I need a Mark II belt for that. Was it on this side 12? Yeah, let's just do Mark II belts in both cases. That'll come down this way. That'll tuck into there. This one's going to continue along. That. And then this one's got to split here and do this. Because I can't put a connector here and I can't put a connector there. It has to be split up against the machine. Otherwise I'd have to do some other kind of shenanigans. That should be fine. Bring you in here. Like this. That'll take care of the salt. And then I can take this whole thing here. Flip it. Rotate it. And snap it into this one. Snappy-like. And then that's good on this side too. 24 salt. 12 times 6, which is 72 yellow cake. We have a high supply of mocks here. Okay, well. Let's do... do that. So I have them for later. These will alert when full. And they don't allow anything out. And let's Unity build. Just build them both. It's fine. Do those cost again? Yeah, it's fine. This can come out this way. Should be fine going into that, right? Unity build that, please. This should stop complaining here shortly. The 75%er, so it's going to go down by like 2% or 3% before it stops complaining once it's triggered. Which is kind of nice, that way it's not ticking on and off constantly. Kind of a good design, I think. Maybe it's 5% before it shuts up. I never actually investigated. There it goes. 5%. Yep. Okay. These two guys. We also need to bring in the... I forgot about this. This stuff. Which is... what height is this on again? Not you, but you. 2. Height 2. Right, that's why those had to be on 0 and 1. This will go this way then. Should have done this before I copied the damn thing. Oopsie. Should let me still... Nope, that's the wrong spot. That. Let me still just copy it in place. Or copy it and restamp it down without too much trouble. Yeah. Alright, that's good. Okay, so that takes care of use of these guys. I think they can go here. Oh, they can't really fit here. So, yeah, they're not going to go there. They're going to go here, I think. In line with this. Let's do a couple of extra spaces, maybe. Just to distinguish them from the others. And then instead of them outputting the core fuel, they'll output solid products this way. However we do that. Which I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. I mean, I know how I'm going to do it, but I don't know how I'm going to handle it yet. Right, so, you... this way then. You can connect into there. There's a couple spaces fine here. It's just for visual distinction, so I think it's plenty. Oh, I didn't do that right. Let's try that again. Don't need you then. And then up here, we need to have an input on this one. And then, however I handle these two. I guess it's possible, although no, it's not. Because no matter what configuration we do, we only ever have a surplus of up to 16 of these. Oh, this isn't going to work, though. I need this to not be connected here. This needs to be a separate feed of this product here. There are 2. Down and into these. And the reason I need that is because I need to prioritize it differently than these guys. So that's fine. This can be fed together because I think... You think about that for a second. Yes, because that will always, if I'm using the enriched blanket fuel, in all cases, and I have extra to go into this, then all that means is the blanket fuel is going to get made less out of whichever of these 2 processes are making it. So as long as this column here is prioritized over this column here, we're fine. Yeah. But, wait a minute. Yeah, as long as blanket fuels, enriched blanket fuel is split. Because the enriched blanket fuel needs to go into this one here first. And then I think it needs to go into this one next. To make it into this using that, and then it can come down here. Yeah, I think so. So that's fine. That'll be fine. Totally fine. Fine, just fine. Okay. You should actually stick out here a bit, so I know that it's there. Fine. Alright, so glass. We need to have smelting. I should check real quick while we're not doing anything in between of anything here. Check on the train situation. Looks okay on the main line anyway. What are you doing again? I don't have you anywhere. Core fuel from uranium. I suppose that could feed into this core fuel line. No, it needs to be deprioritized. It could just be out here in the end then too, or something. It needs salt. We have salt in these lines already. It needs uranium, which would have to be its own line. I'll figure out where to put it. But we're probably only ever going to need one of these. We only need one of those, yeah. Okay. Glass. That's what I was doing. It's glass. Smelting. Glass. We decided to do Arc 1. Rather than Blast 1. Yeah, Arc 1. So we're going to need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2 times 9 is 18. So we need 3/4 of this, which means we need 3/4 of that. So 24 glass mix. Glass mix is... We have acid nearby, so let's do this one. To use less sand and limestone. It's also backwards. Did how much again? 24? Alright. Sand's got to come in, limestone's got to come in, and salt. We have salt here, so we'll just bring that in this way. I'll have a second column of belts for these two items. Acid will come in from there. This can go out that way. Let's flip this here. On top of that second column of belts will be an exhaust, or a slag belt out. The exhaust, I think I'm just going to vent into space. It's not worth trying to convert it into carbon dioxide here. For the small amount we're going to be producing of 3/4 of 6. Which will then eventually drop down after this side is gone to just using 6 of this, which is 1/4 of 6. So yeah, we're gonna exhaust the exhaust here. I'm fine with that much of pollution. It's only 5 units of pollution for each unit of exhaust, so it'll be 22.5, and then it'll be 7.5. It's fine. I won't even smell it. We'll bring graphite in. We'll have to bring in sand and limestone. Let's bring this closer. Excuse me. See, not there, but there. That I can lift the slag up wherever it needs to go. Along this belt here. Let's do, to start with, the molten here. Like that, which means that this one here gets deleted. You can come this way then. That one. Delete that one. This way to that one. And delete that one. Salt is here. We can do a salt lift here. Like that. How much was it again? 24 of this. Do one of these. Direct feed. I'll have graphite coming in here. Acid needs to come down from up there. Like that. And then I think I'll just bring in 2 belts of stuff here. One is sand. The other is limestone. All the way to there. Come here. And then this one here. All the way to there. Do a U-shape lift like this. Delete that. Then you'll go in like this. Slag can go on 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's 12, 3/4 of 12, yeah. Here, and this goes out this way. And then I could do one more belt, bring in the graphite in here. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring it down and around. So let's do a flat lift here at 2. And then I'll do a flat conveyor here. What are you going around there? Oh, that's not going to work. Oop. Okay. Mark, welcome in. Because of that lift there, which is the salt lift. Unless I moved it, I could move it out. Let's do that. Let's take that out. Let's move this out by 1. And put this back in here. And we'll do... How the hell am I going to make that work right? Saw it, I think. Like that? Yes. Okay, good. Flat belt. How you doing, Mark? Go this way. And snap into there. And then this comes from there and just loops into that. Lazaric, welcome in. I'm doing better than I was on Thursday. At least. Turns out it was all apparently due to the shifts in the weather. It's like 60-something degrees here today, so, or was. I don't know what it is now. So, the weather is still messing with me, but what are you going to do, you know? What are you going to do? Alright, so that takes care of glass for these guys. Steel we've already got on the belt ready to come in. Trade me? Yeah, I know. I wasn't trying to compare it to what you've got going on, Les. That was all for Mark. Let's do this and just leave these guys here. This will be fine. Was that to get the recyclables out of here some way, somehow? Not nobody, not know how. That's backwards. We'll go this way, and then this one will go here. Snow like saying Wednesday? Yeah. Ugh. Trying to distract yourself? Yeah, I get that. I get it. Alright, so I think that takes care of these guys. Now, are they arranged in the order that I want them? I don't know. I don't know that it matters. Most of what matters is how I prioritize the splitting and the merging. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter. Looking forward to your trip? Good. Good. And I think given how this is going to work, I think bringing them all to the center via, bus things and then splitting them all again out to the 3 reactors is the least bad way to do this. You need that vacation. Yeah, I believe you. I think I want to copy a stub end of this just so that I can see how it snaps together. Like that. I think what I want to do is cut this, though. Make that like this. Find a line to snap it on. So, like putting... like that. Because that lets me determine exactly how wide this thing is. L. So this is 1, 2 blocks plus 6. Call that 2.5 blocks. Get you out of the way for a second here. So if I get this one started at the halfway point, which is 1 pipe out from this pipe that I have here. Ooh, that was convenient too. Look at that. So you'll go no, wait, that's a full one. That's gonna be tough to count. I need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I think. So that sticks out a bit. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so then this should also end at the same spot. 2 past middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus 2. Yes. So then this one should be able to start 1 over that line, I think it is. Yeah, 1 over that line. Kind of. Let's see. I reached out before Squidman. Well, he's a slacker. What are you going to do? I just happened to notice. You're lucky I stumbled on it, honestly, because I'm not that good at stumbling on things. So that's the spacing that I want of these. I don't need this right now. And so I think what I'm going to do is copy them. Put them in here. Oh, you're welcome. I try to be a human when I figure it out. Somewhere like this, I think. Although I'm moved by 1 on... Oh, I'm over. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I didn't want to do that. That, I think. There we go. Now they're squared up. Okay. So I think what I want to do... So we have these all on... What levels are they on? 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'll have the mergers and splitters on the same levels. One of them will serve as the merger, although there might be more than one merger. Was that a little guy? Yeah. And then one of them will serve as the splitter to split it between the 3 columns. I think what I want to do is have that splitter be here. Yeah. And then have the merger be somewhere in this area then, but at the right heights, of course. So the lowest one is... Wait a minute. You don't need this coming in on this side. Yeah, oopsie. Okay, delete that, and this and that, and this and that, and this and that. I tried to be a downer. No, it's okay. 2, 2. Enriched blanket fuel goes into this column. Just double checking things here. Goes into this column. It goes into these 2 guys down here. Okay. I think it makes sense then to have a splitter be here for these guys. But like that, and like this, I think. So priority is in this one, and then priority goes to this one next, and this one last. think what I'll do instead then, that, and take this one again, this time from here, extra space. That. I can run a pipe between them. I can then run down to there. Not going to connect it up yet because I may rearrange these guys. Something like that. So your priority will be this, and your priority will be that. And then that'll come from this merger that brings it down and across. That kind of thing. Okay, so then merging back the blanket fuel. We have this one. We have this one and that one. And then we have this one and that one. And we finally have these. So priority should be this one. I think. Yes, priority should be this one. One, two, three, four, five, six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think, well, this column here, because these will get filled in if they need to. So then this would be second priority here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. These two are combined with this one. And these two are the same. Is that okay that these two are the same? Because I'm not going to unpause these until I need them. Yeah. So it's fine that they're the same. Because the one will directly replace the other one once I unpause and repause things. So it's basically column 1, column 2, column 3 then. Alright, so that merger I think will be somewhere here in the center then. And those are at level 3. But how do I want to do this so that I merge in? I think I'm going to have one of these be closer. Yeah. I have to have one of these be closer then, like this. That'll be you, so you'll go into this one. With this one. And then that'll get output to here, which will be the priority input there. Merging with this one. Okay. Core fuel. We have the reprocessing, which is number 1. We have this one, which is for 2. Should this be number 2? I think this should be number 2. Until this runs out. No, because I want to keep this stuff getting... Not that stuff. This stuff getting made. So this needs to be number 2. Yep, and then this is 3. Okay. I think this can be down here on the end. What does it need again? Salt. Potentially put it in... Just put it in here. The customary space of 2. It'll get its salt from this salt belt. And the uranium can come in above this on the same height as this because this stuff isn't coming down here anyway. And then the core fuel can come out on level 4 then. Yeah, let's do that. Did the salt in this one? Not that it matters that much, but whatever. Then I'll do this. There. And that's transporting 2. Okay, that'll do. And yes, this is outputting the same thing as this is inputting, but it's not going to go in there. Because it doesn't make sense to do that. This makes 2 out of 4 blanket fuel. This makes 4 out of 4 blanket fuel. I think 2 of these. And this makes 4 core fuel out of 2 enriched uranium with the addition of salt. So this is actually less efficient than just doing this. Coupled with that. So, yep. Okay, so that'll be fine. This is an output here too. So you're number 1. You're number 2. And then you're number 3. I think we just put a merger in like here. Bring this one down to there with this as the priority input there. And then that one continues along to one of them over... It's in the wrong spot anyway. There. And that continues along to one of them here. And then the last one is just the output of this into this, which is just merge the 3 together, output it, run the pipe. So that'll be fine too. Alright, so we don't need this much space, which is good. I don't see why these can't be much closer here. The only thing I'm not accounting for here is if I wanted to have more pipe buffer. In that case, I would want more distance. But I don't know that I really need a lot of pipe buffer either because it's not going to really do us a whole lot of good. So it'll be fine. So these ones, I'm going to put them a little bit away. Let's go with a 4 count. Like that. So you'll go... I think you're on 3. There. These guys here... Let's trim them all to the same length. That. Actually, in that case... There. Don't need that one down there on the floor anymore. And then I can connect these together once I have this all figured out. Yep. Let's do it like that. Alright, so I need to redo this pipe and that pipe again. You'll go from here to there. You'll go from here to here. This one goes over to there. I need to delete that too. And into there. We already set the priorities on this. To prioritize this column first, this column second, and these guys third on the enhanced enriched blanket fuel. And then we go up the next level. Those were 2s, so we go up to 3s, which is the blanket fuel here. That's going to be these 2, I think, right? And we said for that one, I've already forgotten, these guys, and then these guys, and then these guys. Yep. Okay, so this belt here, this pipe here, is trimmed off. Joint if not flat. Well, don't be flat then. There. And you'll go out to this point here and on down into this one.
5, 3, 2, 1, lift off.
And then this one here will come out of here and go there. Like that, with the priority input of this. We've taken from this one before that one. And then we can join these together like that, I guess. And this is priority here over this one here. The lower of these. And then you'll go there. Do I like how that belt ran? It's a pipe, but do I like how that belt ran? Yes. That'll be good. That'll take care of you. And then... Actually, I want this one over here for no good reason. Except it is a good reason. Okay. So that's level 2 and 3 taken care of. Level 4 is core fuel. This is definitely the first priority here. This needs to be There. Priority there. Not there. You at the wrong height? You are. There's 5, which is not the right height. There. And then we have this one coming out here. And we have this one coming out here. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Also that. Let's see. R. We go to this point, I think. Yeah.
5, 3, 2, 1.
That can be trimmed. And so then the priority on these for fuel was for fuel reprocessing, of course. And then from blanket fuel, of course. And then from enriched uranium. Okay, so priority goes here first. Ahead of that one. And then this continues along this way. Connected this guy here. And your priority is this one. Good. Unfreeze there, thank you. And then the last one will just come out from its splitter here. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I never connected this in properly. The enriched blanket fuel. We've got problems here. Hold on. You are complaining about nowhere to dump what? Rock. There's room for rock here. That's you complaining. That's you complaining. Everybody's complaining about rock. Are you guys just doing a whole lot of rock mining right now? Is that the deal? Probably. Yeah, this iron's getting kind of low over here. Eventually that'll start complaining. I think it's just too much rock coming in at once. Yeah. Too much rock coming in at once. Too much rock music. Damn kids. You're all right, though. You can just keep mining with your mining. But this might have to get tweaked a bit. I might need to dig down a bit here to get some more iron out. Because those guys are mining rock and dirt exclusively right now. So we could prep a spot for that. I think I would just do it like this. Here in the middle. And then we figure out where we're going to dig down to dig the permanent ramp down. But to get them a little bit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of there. And just give them a bit of iron to mine. That might be useful. You're configured for nothing. You're configured for iron. Let's switch you to rock focus and leave you on iron focus. I think you might come over here and dig a little bit, rock guy. Yeah. But you'll probably give up the ghost and go back out here after a little while. Yeah, it's fine. We just have a lot of rock, but we're also trucking the rock down here. No, we're not, because we're full down here. How does this look? Oh, yeah, we still need to do this. Let's level off some more of this. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of it. I think that's 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Do that. Over to here. Into that mountain. Ooh, that was close. Or did I botch that? I did botch that. Let's go back to miner mode here. And give me another row of that. Yep, there we go. Alright, that's fine. We've got this now. You go in there. Just Unity build it. It's fine. How are you doing? Since we're here, give you a couple more while we're here. It keeps growing and growing. Alright, those is getting better. Closer. Somethinger. That's 0, 1, 2. That's you, right? This one? So this will come out of here. And it'll go into this one. That's fine. And then 3 is next. Actually, that's backwards, isn't it? It is backwards. That pipe's backwards. That pipe's an output pipe, not an input pipe, Wally. 3 is next. You go here. Nope. Go here. Delete that one on the bottom now. Four is next. You go here. Then 5 is here. And you go to this one. What are you? Oh, you're the acid pipe. That can be deleted too. You come to here, you go to there. All right. That's some nice pipe spaghetti, isn't it? And I might shorten these. We'll see what the spacing kind of feels like. So this one's the 2. You'll come out to here. And you'll
Yeah,
go.
that's what she said.
Yeah, that's what she said. Ant-Man, welcome in. Right? That's the 2. Yes. And then the 3 is the output there is these. I did the 2 wrong. That's how I want it. And then the 3. How about we go there instead? Thank you. And then you're the 4. And then you're the 5. How you doing, Batman? In and out. Good. Out and an in. Out and an in and out. Okay, that'll work. And then these guys will have the same type of configuration running back to that same merger. We're only ever producing, at most here, 48 of any of these things, so it'll be fine in one of these pipes. Yeah, the largest quantity in any one of these pipes at any given time of any 4 of these items is 48. Giggity. Nice. You're a streaker. You're okay, you guess? A little bit of that here lately. Okay, so you go here, around the end of the building, plug it in, 3 here. Four. And 5. All right, and then this one. Two. And 3. Four. And 5. All right, that's a pipe monstrosity now. Other than bringing in all the products we need to bring in and taking out the couple of things that go out from here, close. We need to deal with yellow cake yet. Ugh, we need to deal with yellow cake yet. Sounds delicious, doesn't it? How are we going to deal with the yellow cake? We need to be able to take the salt water out from these things. All 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them feed into the yellow cake build. The brine, I think, is what it is. Yep. And then we need to feed back the water that comes from this process. Back into these at some semblance of reasonable evenness or capacity for evenness. It doesn't have to be perfect. I probably will do a manifold because it kind of doesn't matter. One will produce more water, one will produce less water, but it's only just going in there as a priority anyways. Shared priority with these, I guess. Guess. Just thinking now. a dangerous thing to do.
Three, two, one, lift off.
Yeah, I think so. These things will effectively like be way out here. So whether I bring the water and the saline all the way down here to make the yellow cake, or I do it somewhere along this edge, I think it'll be fine. What I need to be prepared for is making sure that I have reasonable access to the sea for bringing in the uranium for making the yellow cake. But those could be indefinitely belted, I suppose, too. Because we are going to need sea access anyways for the water production. So if that was down, if the sea was down here, we could have the uranium coming in, we could do the yellow cake along there, and then belt the yellow cake down to this end too. And that would be fine for me too. Alright. So yeah, we'll plan for that. So what I'll do is I'll just run a water pipe along here someplace, maybe right above these guys, at some height across all 3 sets of this, and then just drop them down into these splitters here, these balancers. Not sure, though, if they should be priority or not. Because really, it should be, like, a middling priority. Like, the output of this should be the highest priority, and then that, and the output of this. But it's going to be such a small amount, I think. How do I have it done over here? It's going to be 36 times 6, up to 36 times 6, once we actually need to make yellow cake. So, that's what, 216? At the moment, I have this prioritized how? I have it prioritized with these outputs. That's fine. It's fine. I'll just prioritize them with them. Again, it's such a small amount that it's not going to matter much. Getting tired, which is good because we lose an hour of sleep tonight. Where the hell am I going to put this? Now that I kind of have a feel for how big this sucker is going to be, where do I put it? Because it's this plus train stations, either here or maybe on a side even, and I built the things around, but plus train stations with the sea over here, roughly that size. Kind of hoping maybe it would go in here, and it might fit in here once that coal's gone. This would be perfect if I could raise this up fast enough around here. Maybe. Otherwise, that's not big enough. Not even close to big enough. Let me do a version of this blueprint. Actually, no. Let's just move this out of the way. You go sit over there. If I take this part here Nope. Wrong-o. I take this part here. Actually, wait a minute. Let's take a cut of this part here. Over here, out of the way again. Delete these guys. And then copy this part here. A bit more. Perfect. Nope. Perfect. Nope. Just that pipe hanging out too far. Alright, that'll be fine. This pipe's just a little bit long. The pair for this one was just a little bit long. Let's just trim that off there. One more. One more. And we'll just take this one back in here. Like that. A lot of space here, unfortunately. That's fine. Doesn't matter that much. I need this. The cursor's not big enough. The blueprint selection is not big enough for this. Okay. Okay, troll game, thank you. Alright, well, that'll be my almost good enough. Good enough. The point is that without much changes, this is nowhere near big enough. I would have to have a lot more space here. I guess, though, it could go here. But I would have to bring everything in from the ocean way down there, which isn't the greatest idea. Just for, you know, shenanigans. Could it go in here? Wouldn't even go in here. It's got to go out here. Which means I'm going to need to do some terraformation. That I can put this here. We can have... At the south end... Where am I at? Over here. The south end over here. We would have water connection. However. And then all the way over there, kind of where they're still dumping the rock into the ocean there, we'd have to have that's where the boat would have to connect. We do yellow cake there along the left edge of the blueprint. We'd have to put the train stations in, which means doing more tweaks there. Actually, this might not work either. We got to be careful here of our titanium mine, too. I forgot about that. Son of a bitch, this thing is too damn big. I might have to build it over here and belt and pipe the stuff in. I might have to. I might have to pipe the seawater in and then put the dock there along the coastline and finagle that in. Do I have enough room here for that, or am I going to need to dump some more rock and stuff into this coastline? I'm going to need to bring this coastline out some more. so I can have the dock there and the uranium stored. Pipe the seawater in, pipe the brine out, belt the uranium in. All of it's got to run through here. The capacity is going to be what? It would be... Actually, I would need multiple docks, potentially, even. Eventually. Luckily, that's a little ways off. I would do 8. I would probably do 2 8s, but that means I still need to have 6 belts coming in for the processing of this. 6 belts of uranium times 72. Well, I could do it in fewer belts if I did it faster. That's fine. 6 times 72 uranium is 432. All right, well, that's actually 1 Mark III belt, isn't it? Yeah, technically. I would probably do 2, but yeah, technically. And then the seawater would be 1 of these and 1 of these for each column, and I'd have 6 of those. So I would need to have 6 pipes of seawater, 6 pipes of brine. I could potentially merge them because these are only 108. I could put 4 of them on 1 Mark IV pipe. Actually, on 1 Mark IV pipe, I could put them all. I don't know that I want to do that, but I could do like 2 Mark III pipes with 3 on each. Or even, yeah, something. The brine could all go out together because it's going to be 6 times 8 times 6. And then I could just split it out into all the dumps. So to make sure you have the coastline for the dumps. Although they might be able to be staggered reasonably. Like I could do... I guess I can't do. I can't stagger them. They could be staggered. They just would need to be out closer to the ocean. Okay, well, that means we need to make some edits here. Unless anybody has a better suggestion of where this thing goes. This is still too high out here, right? No, this is 4. Did I go way the hell out here? What's out here? Just sand and limestone. Paste. Did I just go way the hell out here? That's better? That might be better. I have to be careful with that limestone mine. But if I do a little bit of editing here of the terrain, focus on some editing out here. I take down these mountains here on the left, especially that one. I square this edge off down here. I could just do this out here. The limestone doesn't need to dig that deep here. This edge here is only... Ooh, space probe just got done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I would just need to be 3 tiles away, which not there, but 1, 2, 3. I would need to be here. So that would work as long as I kind of keep close to that edge. Square this bottom edge off. Is that enough room for train stations? Probably. I could make it work. That's the permanent line position there. It'll be a little bit shenanigansy with these guys here, but I think it's worth it. I think it's worth doing. And then we gotta figure out what kind of train stations we need here. How many train stations we need. We need 1 for the spent fuel. I'm gonna do... No, I can't do that by train. That's gonna come in by a truck. 1 of those. Or not a train station for that, so it doesn't matter. Oh, Wally, it doesn't matter. We'll need recyclables output. We'll need to have acid in, salt in. So that's 3 so far. Night, Nutmeg. And then we need to have limestone, sandstone, and acid, and salt we already have, so that's 5. Graphite and slag, that makes 7. And then you guys need, got it, steel, that's 8. Nothing there. Salt we already have. Uranium, that's 9. And then the enriched uranium is 10. 10 train stations. We might have a little bit of trouble with space on those. But if I can get a bit of terraforming done between now and, what's today, Saturday? Now and Tuesday, I think we can fit it in there fine enough. The only other things we might need is whatever it takes to make this stuff. Acid we have. Rock, that makes 11. Slag we already got an output for. Filter media, that makes 12. And then hydrogen for fuel, that makes 13. Central Mining Plateau is done mining. Instead of expanding that, I think you folks need to come over here. Work on this mountain, work on that mountain. We can bring this back up to level here and square this off. You guys are dumping in here, that's fine. Take this mountain down here. Square this end off down here, and we'll just get this geared up to go into there. But that will be something that I do off camera between now and the next episode, next stream, because it is time to end. I need to end basically on time tonight. I'm a few minutes past, but basically on time tonight, so that I can get some extra sleep, because we lose an hour tonight in the US, or in the Western Hemisphere. Well, northern Western Hemisphere, whatever. So I will do some of that work off camera between now and the next time. Hopefully I can get it all done, because otherwise we're going to have to find something else to do while we wait for that terraforming work to happen. But for now, let's find ourselves a raid target and get out of here. Why don't we raid... Well, we've already raided Taco twice this week, so why don't we raid him again? This time he's playing Slay the Spire 2, which just came out with this week. Was that what I saw? Something like that. Anyway, we will raid Taco. We'll see what he's up to over there. In the meantime, make sure that you check out the YouTubes. We are playing Ethos over there. It's a survival crafter game that I think you guys might like to take a look at. Many of you probably like to play it as well. So check that out. And we're also going to return to Alchemy Factory and alternate the two. I think I'm going to do Ethos again on Monday. I already have it set for tomorrow, but again on Monday, and then we'll start the alternating. But we'll see. I'm enjoying it, but I'm also enjoying Alchemy Factory, so I think I need to get back to doing both, because I'm enjoying them both. But Ethos is new, so I wanted to give that some time. And then come to Discord, hang out with us, chat and whatnot about games and technology, share memes, and make fun of Caledorn, and join us for game night on Friday nights. But until then, we will leave this here, and we'll see you all again on tomorrow night for Sunday Shenanigans, playing Alchemy Factory with Jeff, Lana, and possibly IT Machinist. And also, see you next week for more Captain of Industry. Thank you all for coming, and have a good one. Bye for now.